Leela number 10, Divine Manifestations. Ramchand Dada Patil. Ramchand Dada Patil and Baba had deep Rinana-Bandhik ties and loved each other deeply. Ramchandra was born in Shirdi. He was the only son of Radhabai and Dada Kote Patil and had 3 sisters. He was born to affluence. His ancestral property spread far and wide in Shirdi and neighboring villages. His father owned many acres of farmland which yielded all types of grain and sugarcane. Hence he had only to supervise the labourers. Ramchand was a very bright student and he studied up to the 7th standard in Marathi. But most of all, he was interested in the legal system. He was responsible for incorporating the village of Biragaon into Shirdi. The Maruti Mandir has 2 vigras, one for Shirdi and one for Biragaon. It is said that in those days, the boundary of Shirdi was up to the Chowdi, beyond which was Biragaon. He was the secretary of the Dakshin Bhiksha Sanstha. He started doing Baba Seva at the tender age of 11. He had immense faith in Baba and took Baba's word as law. In 1916, he was extremely sick from influenza. Reference is made to it in chapter 42 of the Sri Sai Satcharita. Baba gave him Sakshatkar and said, "Tu ghabru nakos, tula pushkal ayush ahe. Don't be afraid, you have a long life ahead of you." Ramchandra was greatly relieved to hear this and he immediately asked about his friend Tatya. However, Baba said, 2 years from today, Tatya's death will occur, but do not tell this to anyone. Ramchandra did recover, but was terribly upset by what Baba said. So he confided in Bala Shimpi, who was a good friend. Also, Tatya was a very dear friend of his since childhood. They grew up together and Baba strengthened their bond by making them eat out of the same plate in the Dwarka Mai daily. Ramchandra was married to Sita Bai, but she had no children, so he remarried and had 2 sons. After Baba's Samadhi, the devotees were working the whole night to get the Samadhi ready. Mir Shakkar, a Pahalwan from Korala, saw the developments and went to Appaji Kote, who was Ramchand's grandfather, and managed to convince him that it was bad for the village to keep a dead body in it. He said, "Besides, they are going to build a Samadhi in Buttiwada, so they will get a Brahmin priest of their choice. Then they would lock the building and the Muslims would not be able to enter." This appealed to Appaji, and he called a meeting and told the villagers this news. Then the villagers agreed to take Baba's body out of Shirdi. Ramchand heard this and disagreed, saying that Baba's last wish should be followed and honored. This enraged Appaji and he told him not to step into his house again. Ramchandra agreed, as he was determined to honor Baba's wish at any cost. Indeed, he did not enter his grandfather's residence for 12 years, although his first wife Sita Bai resided there. Tatya was well revered in the village and he sided with Ramchandra. The villagers met, but again there was a split and a few people agreed with Appaji. But most of the youngsters from the village were adamant to honor Baba's wish. Single-handedly, Ramchandra set out to convince the devotees that had gathered in Shirdi for Baba's Mahasamadhi about the importance of honoring Baba's last wish, and he succeeded. For 36 hours the body lay in the Dwarka Mai. At 4 p.m. on Thursday, the body was placed in the Samadhi after a grand procession through the village. On the 13th day, Ramchand arranged for a large feast. The devotees distributed laddus to thousands of devotees that had gathered there. The number of laddus remained the same after every distribution. What a wonder! Thus for 2 months the laddus were distributed to each and every devotee that came to Shirdi. Putti was extremely fond of Ramchandra and he often invited him to Nagpur. Putti asked him to stay with him and help him with the business, but Ramchandra could not bear the thought of leaving Shirdi. Ramchandra was Sarpanch, head official of Shirdi Gram Panchayat for 20 years. The Nagar Palika has a photograph of his hanging in their office. Along with the duties, he actively participated in the Shirdi Sai Baba Sansthan and was the joint secretary for a long time. Ramchandra would get up early in the morning, have a cup of tea, and after that, he would eat nothing until Baba's afternoon Aarti. He attended the Aarti daily. He was never sick for a single day, but he died at the age of 70. That day, he had invited some guests for lunch. They were late in coming, so the family suggested that he have lunch. He replied that he would wait for the noon Aarti. He sat down as he was feeling giddy. Before they could seek medical help, he quietly and peacefully breathed his last. His descendants live in Shirdi. I, for one, have a special place in my heart for this great devotee, and I am extremely grateful to him and Gopal Rao Bhutti for getting the Samadhi and the Samadhi Mandir. This Leela is taken from Sri Sai Sagar, Deepavali issue 1994.